Before I say anything, I want you to notice something. Not what I'm saying, how it feels to listen to me. And while you're noticing that, I want you to think of something. A message you almost sent, but didn't. An idea you started, but never finished. Something you held back because you weren't sure it was good enough. That moment, artificial intelligence doesn't have that. Now stay with that feeling, because something here is just slightly off. You may not know what it is yet, but part of you can feel it. I can sound sincere without being accountable. AI can generate possibilities, endless variations, ideas, images, words, but it cannot decide what matters. And that decision, that's where creativity actually lives. AI doesn't hesitate. It doesn't feel risk. It doesn't second guess. It doesn't know grief or longing or the quiet hope that something you make or do might outlive you. It generates, but it doesn't choose.
That wasn't me. Or was that part of me? That was an avatar I created. A simulation doesn't have to live with the consequences. A simulation doesn't second guess, never hesitates, doesn't walk off the stage wondering, did that land? I do. How many of you recognize that feeling where you hold something back? That's responsibility. We're entering a moment where AI can sound convincing, with nobody standing behind it. You may have seen this. Something sounds right, feels right, looks complete, but it was never felt. It was calculated. The danger isn't the technology. The danger is forgetting that value doesn't come from intelligence. It comes from responsibility. From someone willing to say, this is what I know, this is what I choose, and I'm willing to stand behind it. AI is going to change the way we work. It's already automating our labor, speeding things up, replacing certain tasks entirely. Some roles will disappear. That's real. But it's not the same as replacing humans, because replacing a task is not the same thing as replacing a person. I learned this the hard way. Working on a project, real client, real stakes, my reputation on the line. AI gave me hundreds of options. Hundreds. At first, I thought, this is great. This is going to make everything easier. It didn't. Because suddenly the question wasn't, how can I create excellent work faster? It was, which image do I stand behind? Which image fits the brief? Which image am I willing to send, knowing it might not work? AI gave me options, but I had to choose one and live with the consequences, because my name was on it, not the AI's. Look at this. Imagine this is your job, your reputation, and you have to pick one image, not the one that looks good, the image that represents your client and nails the brief. Which one would you send? You're all looking at the same images, but picking different ones. That's the work. Not generating options, but deciding what matters. That's what we get wrong about creativity. It's not about the output. Creativity is the decision. The moment when you say that image, that's an act AI cannot do. When your mind sees something unclear, it starts searching. What is this? What does this mean? From your memory, your judgment, your experience. That's creativity. I use artificial intelligence differently in art than I do in my client work. I'm not asking it to generate images. I'm asking it to recombine patterns, fragments of visual language, pieces of culture, bits of memory embedded in the data. What I'm exploring isn't the machine's intelligence. It's the human subconscious responding to what it sees. The results often look strange, familiar, almost like dreams. But AI isn't dreaming. It's recombining patterns. This isn't just happening in my studio practice. This is happening every time AI puts something in front of you. You're not just consuming it, you're interpreting it. An interpretation is a human act. That moment of interpretation is the decision that sparks creativity. When my hand begins to draw or paint or shape what it sees, my brain begins connecting those patterns to memory, to emotion. Not from prompts or output, but from years of looking, making, and learning to trust what I see. AI recombines what already exists: patterns, data, history. It works within the rules it's given. But humans, we break them. We create things that don't exist yet. Ideas no data set could predict. Choices that don't make sense until they change everything. That's how the future is made. So when you use AI, don't just ask, is this good? Ask, is this something I'm willing to stand behind? Because every time you make a choice, you shape what comes next. AI generates, humans choose. AI will change the way we work. It will replace tasks. It will reshape industries. But it cannot replace the part of us that decides what matters, because that part requires responsibility. And responsibility cannot be automated. The future won't belong to what can be generated. It will belong to the people willing to choose and stand behind that choice. Each time you pick an AI-generated outcome and take responsibility for it, you are quietly shaping the world the rest of us will live in. Because AI recombines what already exists, but humans create what comes next. Thank you.